And there's a lot of manufacturers nowadays of solar lights. In fact, everybody and their kid brother that has a factory in Asia is making some kind of solar something. But this is different. This is Sterno Home. This is a brand name that's been very well recognized, and they're recognized not only for their engineering and quality of design, but also for their longevity. This is a little bit different. Most solar lights just look the same, don't they? Well, these are an open design. These are made of a high impact plastic, so it helps to keep that cost down, but they look exactly like the metal ones. And at $44.87, you're going to save some money right away, because that's 30% off of what we normally charge for this set. Each one is going to be 12 lumens in brightness, which is a nice bright design, okay? I'm in a bright lit studio. When I put my hand over the solar panel, you can see that light even with the bright lights. And it is an incandescent-like glow. And it uses that new chip on board. See those little yellow stripes? That new chip on board technology, which has been the wave of the future in terms of all forms of lighting, not just solar. So you're getting 6 of them for this price tag. I want to bring in, oh, I don't have a guess for this, do I? At the bottom of this, can I pull one up? You mind? Yeah. At the bottom of this, you're going to see a little chrome. It looks like a Hershey's Kiss. And it's in the shape of a Hershey's Kiss. That's a really nice diopter. It's a diffuser that takes the light from this and then bounces it out and up, so that you can use these for more than just walkway lights. You can also use them to be able to create some gorgeous patterns on the ground. And we'll show the videotape several times. If you've got older solar lights that have just been frustrating, and quite frankly, the last couple of years there have been some massive improvements on solar. If you've been frustrated with your solar lights in the past, then maybe it is time for you to update those lights along your walkway. And I can tell you this, the most popular designs are those that give out a Kelvin rating. Kelvin means heat, and they're actually talking about the color of the light. That people want the ones that look like they're hardwired in and incandescent instead of that super bright white. And that's exactly what you get here. Now you've got a choice of either bronze or gunmetal, but if you want that bronze, I'm going to tell you, do not wait on this. There's 24 sets, and that is it. Today is an example. Again, I've said this over and over in this 3-hour podcast. These are the very first presentations of the new sale price. And clearance sale pricing means this is an inventory item that I had last year, but it was so popular that now I'm down to limited quantities, like I said, the bronze, a couple dozen, that we mark it down. You do me a favor, I do you a favor. I can give you a better price on it. When you buy it, you're going to be pleased, but you're also giving me a chance to free up warehouse space for things that are finally starting to come in. Here's my frustration. I do a lot of gardening shows. I do a lot of the Great Outdoors with Dan shows. Things that we ordered that we hoped would have been in last year are just starting to trickle in now from overseas. Solar is one of those examples. Couldn't get them because the chip on boards had completely dried up. And that global supply chain issue that you've heard, I know you don't want to hear those phrases again, but it has very much been the case. So what I will be talking about as brand new technology coming up in March, April, and May is actually over a year old. We just couldn't get it. So this was last year's technology, but it's still going to be with us for a while. I like that open design. It's just different. There's no glassware to have to worry about. It uses the new amorphous panels that draw in so much more light. It used to be, unless it was the middle of July or August, when you had 13.5 hours of sunlight, that your solar lights wouldn't light up all night long. These should, because you're using so much less energy to create that much more light. If you're thinking about multiples, I wouldn't wait on these. especially if you want that bronze, because you may get your first set of 6. I can't guarantee I'm going to have these in inventory tomorrow with less than 2 dozen left in the bronze. How are we doing in the iron look, in the black? Fewer than 300 in the gunmetal. The bronze is now gone. Bronze is now gone. That gunmetal, by the way, is not a full gray. So many times when they say gunmetal, it looks more gray. It's a little bit lighter, or pardon me, a little bit darker than that. All right? Shipping and handling on these, $5.50. I've had solar lights on my property for over 10 years. And it's so much more fulfilling to not have to dig a trench, not have to put wiring in, and get light bulbs that have to be replaced. 12-volt lights, the actual light bulb that was in them was nothing more than a tail light bulb for an automobile. But you had to have whole systems of what they called low-volt wiring put in, and it was a lot of work. Plus, your landscaping changes from season to season. You know, that bush that you planted 2 years ago and was tiny is now big. So if you had wired lighting, now all of a sudden that light that was outside of your garden is in the middle of a bush. And the only way to rectify it is to dig it up and move it. Sometimes that requires additional wiring just so you have more length. With this, if you don't like where it is, you pull it up. I'll also recommend this. The stake that comes on a Sterno Home is a much longer stake. I've seen them when they're this big, and they're almost always ABS plastic. And you think, well, damn, plastic. I'd rather have metal. Metal's more substantial. No, not at all. If it's going into the ground is always going to have moisture, always. I would absolutely rather have an ABS because it cannot rust. So I know I'm going to have something that's going to last longer. These put off quite a bit of light. It's not overpowering. I mean, you're not going to light a runway with them, but they're really pretty. And I like that it focuses on that new Edison look bulb. So you're getting something that really is brilliant. Let me go ahead and take that off. There's the bulb. How cool is that? So all I've got left are the gunmetal gray. I wish I had more, but I don't. Let me get that back in. There it is. But I do still have a few of them. So take advantage of that sale price. Let's get them shipped to you. You might have to wait until a little later in the season for the ground to thaw out, but then you're ready to go.